we're talking about on the Comic Lab podcast, hey, what about so we're in post-social media, or we're going towards a post-social media internet. And Melissa says, hey, how are we going to get people to our websites and to our email newsletters? Everybody's got an email newsletter now. How are we going to get people to that? Well, social media. It's not going away. When we talk post-social media future, Twitter's not going to disappear, okay? Facebook is not going to poof, that turn into MySpace. That opportunity of Facebook turning into MySpace has long since gone. What we're talking about is that right now, social media is the end-all, be-all of most people's web experience. In the same way, in the late 90s and early 2000s, AOL was that. People, it said they were going on the internet when really they were just going on AOL. That was the internet experience. And then they discovered websites, and around 2000, 2001, boom, the whole thing exploded, and people like me jumped in and said, hey, this is a publishing tool. I can get into this. That was the beginning of webcomics. What we saw is the pendulum swung back, and now most people, when they say they're going on the internet, it's not quite as homogenous as AOL, but it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and a few others, and mainly social media. So what does that mean for us when we talk post-social media future? What it means is right now, social media started out being promotional and then evolved into being promotional and publishing. And really, if you're smart right now, you should be publishing on social media, not just promoting on social media. It turned into a bigger thing. What's going to happen is social media is always going to be there, Melissa, but instead of using it for publishing like you're doing now, that's going to start to throttle back slowly over time, and you're going to go back to using it primarily for promotion. That's where, if you listen, and the show is coming up, I think, I'll check my my notes here. We're going to be talking about Substack for an entire show coming up on Comic Lab, and we're going to be talking about exactly this. I hope my keyboard isn't playing into the mic too badly. I'm sure you can hear it a little bit. Substack show, we recorded it on August 17th. It'll go out to Patreon September 18th. Okay, that's this Sunday. And it'll go out to the public the following Thursday. So we're going to talk about Substack for the entire show. Patreon folks are going to hear it Saturday morning. And one of the things we noted is that there was a very prominent a DC Comics writer who said, I'm signing with Substack and that's it. I'm done with Twitter. And our prediction for this person is that 366 days after he made his first Substack post, he's going to be in real trouble, because this is not the time to abandon social media completely. If anything, for the next year, for somebody doing this, somebody who's going from no self-publishing status to somebody who's going to try to become a full-time self-publisher, this is the time for that person to double down and triple down and work their butt off on social media to build. Because here's what the Substack thing is: they've got a year where they're getting paid by Substack. Think of it as an advance, and then 366 days later, that money is gone. It is not renewed, and they are going to be able to earn on whatever they've earned in terms of subscribers during that time, just like they were starting a Patreon. That's where their money's going to come in. And then Substack takes their cut. They take a 10% cut, I believe, right off the top. And then the credit card companies are taking a cut after that. And then, of course, there's also taxes. This is no time to quit social media. For any of us, particularly for that person, but for any of us, this is no time to quit social media. If anything, it's time to be, for some of us, to double down. For other people, it's time to rethink how we've been doing what we've been doing, why we've been doing it, and try to fine tune our approach. You'll see Dave and me both. We mentioned on the last show being disgusted with Instagram getting very little return on investment for us. And we're both actively trying to get as many people as possible off of Instagram to email newsletters. We haven't stopped publishing on Instagram. We have no plans to stop publishing on Instagram, but we will be doing, both of us, I guarantee, will be doing an active push over the next several months to get as many people off of those as possible. Will that mean that Instagram stops? Probably not. Probably not. It's just going to take its appropriate place in what we do. Eventually, over the next few years, could it drop out completely? Yes, absolutely. But this is no time to, you've heard me say a lot, late stage social media, and the feedback we've been getting on the Comic Lab Discord server and in the emails and just from people talking have been, well, that's it. I'm starting my email newsletter. I don't need to do social media anymore. No, don't do that. You're getting the wrong idea. Pump the brakes a little bit here. This is the time to be adjusting your social media so that you're using it properly. Okay, that's that whole conversation. Is it's time to adjust a little bit. It's not going to go away. It's just going to it's going to evolve once again and take a different place in your publishing outreach, in your list of priorities.